what's left of the summer, that is. So I woke up this morning feeling not too dissimilar to how I felt on my wedding day. Nervous, excited, a little bit anxious. But unlike my wedding day, I stand here before you today sober. It's not that I needed alcohol to get me into that church. It's just that I need sobriety today to get my message across to you properly, in the hope that I inspire you all to believe in this organisation as much as I do. So, some of you have come from England and had your flights cancelled, delayed, moved to a different day. Some of you have travelled by train and had multiple changes to make. Some of you have travelled across Switzerland to be here. And some of you have just rolled down the hill from Kuznacht. But all of you, every single one of you is paid to be here. And I hope that by the end of this evening, you will know that that is money well spent. Not because we have good food and good alcohol and good music for later, but because this really is a cause worth fighting for and worth supporting. So, I need to look at my notes. Oh yes. So I'd like to just say some thank yous. First of all, Franzoli, who have catered for us before, and in particular, Franz, who I believe I'm able to call my friend. Always flexible, always professional, and also he has a really fun wife, so that helps. And then I'd like to thank Melissa, or Mel as I know her, who is, where is she? Somewhere. Oh, there she is, just like last time. But Melissa is my colleague, but more than anything, she's a dear friend. And we've been on this journey now for over 4 years together, side by side. And I can honestly say that without her, I would have fallen at the first hurdle. So an eternal gratitude to you, my friend. Yeah. And then, of course, it goes without saying, not you, Lucas. I would like to thank Ben, wherever he is. Oh, there. Without whom, of course, none of this would be possible. But it's not just the generosity that you give towards me and the foundation, but it's your belief in me, and sometimes more than I believe in myself, and encouraging in every way, always, and so proud of me, I know that, so thank you for that. And then, all of you for coughing up, showing up, and putting up with me. But, yes, so, this is clearly an event to raise money for Greenpeace, but there is no auction. There isn't even a silent auction. This is a party. And I do ask a couple of things of you, though. If you haven't already, please take a moment to visit the media gallery, which is by the entrance to the house, where there are it's a visual aid to the work that Greenpeace do. And there are some narratives under the images that tell you about those stories. And just take a moment to reflect on that before you leave or when you go to the loo. And talking of loos, there's one right here to the left of the kitchen. But then, I know it's a bit random. And then there's a bedroom to the left by the stairs. You can use that one. And then there's one downstairs, which you could use. But yeah, take a moment to look at those images. And the other thing is we have a Greenpeace stand outside. Oh, no, sorry, it's inside in the kitchen. And there are hoodies and T-shirts for kids for sale. They're not expensive, they're lovely, and there are some adult ones as well, so you can write down your order and we'll sort the rest out. There are also some pledging cards, more importantly, where if you feel so inclined, no obligation, but if you feel so inclined and you'd like to pledge some money to Greenpeace and the work they do, then please do that, and you can put the pledge card in a box, which my daughter Ivy spent hours designing, and it's so lovely what she did. And don't forget to look at the bottom of the box, because that represents the bottom of the sea. And she worked really hard on it, and I'm proud of her for that. And so if you want to, again, no obligation, but please put a pledge card in the pledge box. And anyone that pledges, and by pledge I mean donate, by the way, if anyone donates over 500 Swiss francs, they will receive a little bronze David Bailey limited edition tiger. And these tigers, they were for sale in Fortnum and Mason. Only 400 of them were made, and they represent 400 of these. It's a subspecies of a Sumatran tiger. Only 400 are left in the world, and so they were for sale at Fortnum for just under 450 quid, something like that. And there are now only 20 left. So anyone donating over 500 francs will receive one of those. We have them with us here, and they're very cute. So then, what else did I need to say? Just a couple of words on the Levine Family Foundation before I hand it over to Greenpeace. But so we are a family-run charity. We're UK registered. But we have projects all over the world, a global geographic remit. So what we do is we give grants, which is a kind of fancy way of saying basically we give money to organisations, NGOs, so non-government organisations, charities, and in some cases individuals across the world to do ocean work. And we cover three key focus areas. One is deep sea mining, or the prevention of it. One is mangrove restoration and conservation work. And the other is fishery management, effective fishery management. And so in terms of fishery management, that's a huge subject which I won't bore you with. Mm-hmm. But just in a nutshell, I'm going to read it off because I will forget one otherwise. That encompasses overfishing, illegal, unregulated, unreported fishing, modern day slavery, human trafficking. We fund research, we have a PhD student, so we fund education, EU policy change, litigation, satellite monitoring, data analysis, and we try to raise public awareness as well. So these are the things that we do as a foundation. And this week I was in London thinking about what I could say that would have some impact on all of you. And I was struggling really to find the right words, and so I emailed a friend. Well, he's a colleague, a highly respected one at that. I don't know how many of you have seen Seaspiracy, but a lot of people know it, and it was on Netflix. It still is on Netflix. And in the second half of this documentary, there's a lovely-looking gentleman sitting on a lonely chair in what looks like a derelict warehouse, and he's called Callum Roberts, Professor Callum Roberts, and he's a hero in the ocean world. And I emailed him, help, what can I say to inspire these people to care in the way that you and I do? And he replied, bless him. And rather than plagiarize his words, which I really did consider doing, I decided to have a bit more integrity than that and give credit where it's due. And I will just read out his email, and then I will hand over to Will. So these are his words. Because Greenpeace do a lot of land-based work as well, and he wasn't sure whether it was ocean or land, but anyway. He said, whether or not it is land or sea or both, I would suggest you emphasise the need for urgent action that goes beyond what governments are doing. They aren't doing nearly enough or acting fast enough. This means that we are experiencing accelerating planetary change, which is having profound consequences for all life on Earth, including our own. The longer we delay stepping up to the enormity of the environmental challenge we face, the worse things are going to get, and the more expensive it will be to fix them. Every dollar invested now to promote the ability of life to cope with rapid environmental change is worth more than a dollar invested tomorrow. Early investments in environmental protection have much greater leverage than later ones. The outcomes they will produce will be much better. If we think we can walk away from the problems we face today because they are too difficult to solve, or we hope that future generations will fix them for us with better technologies, we are deluding ourselves. There has never been a greater urgency to act than now, and with every passing day, week, and month of inaction, that urgency only becomes more acute. The outcomes will be far better for the living environment if we protect and manage them to the best of our ability now, nurturing them through the difficult times ahead and helping them to more swiftly adapt to their changing world. If we abandon nature to an uncertain fate now, the only thing we can be sure of is that we and generations of our descendants will deeply regret that choice. And I know this is obviously a kind of hard-hitting email to receive, but it is a reality and it is the truth, and we need to face it. So it's organisations like Greenpeace that know all this and work so hard they are a lot more than activists. They influence governments and they work hard every day. And the people, I've met quite a few that work there, and really I'm very proud to be partners with them wherever they are. So without further ado, where is Will? Oh, over to you.
Just got to give me 1 minute to set up, because